Hi, I'm back. It's been a minute, so I'm still getting used to the whole talking to a camera with a microphone in my backyard where anybody walking by could hear me or see me. My neighbor could look at me. I'm pretty sure she doesn't care. Or somebody else walking by could see me. It's very vulnerable. But I love being outside, so we are outside. Welcome to episode 5 of my podcast show called Sister Sam. I am Sam, and you're a sister. I don't really know how I feel about sister, but that's the. Ooh, when I started talking, the fire came on. If you're watching this, there's a fire. You can kind of see to the side of the screen. Maybe I'll put the microphone up and you can listen. Love that. That's really cool. Maybe I'll change the name one of these days, but I like Sister Sam for the little play on words that provides me and those who understand. If you're new here, my podcast is called Sister Sam because that's what I would be called in the basically fundamentalist Christian church that I grew up in. I don't really call it that. I call it something else. But today I don't feel like saying that word. If you want to listen to the story behind that, you can scroll back on the episodes and take a listen. It's the episode called Story Behind Sister Sam. That's me. Today, I am back after 2 weeks of not uploading any episodes because life. It is currently Thursday, Jupiter Day. Hey. I was also born on a Thursday, so hey, I'm back on my birthday day. It's really hot next to this fire. It's a vibe though. I'm back to share a couple messages that I recorded that came through for me most recently. Right now, we're in the eclipse portal where we've moved through the first one at midnight last night here on the East Coast. And it's getting really hot now. And it is 90 degrees today. I'm building a fire. What you doing? I don't know. It just felt right. It just feels like some things need to be burned. It needs to get hot real quick, you know? We're moving through the first eclipse right now. Things are happening, things are shifting, things are changing. It's also about little past first quarter of spring, which is exciting. It means that things are changing, things are shifting very viscerally, very biologically, actually, in the body as well, in the physical realm. And that's one of the messages that I speak on in this episode that you are going to hear after this intro. I love to create intros to introduce the content for each episode because it gives it a little bit more context in real time, and I get to have a conversation with you all before you just dive into the content. It feels more personal. Oh, there's a butterfly that just flew through. This is a magical moment. And I feel like I get to be like, hey, this is what came through for me most recently. I'd love to share it with you. Here's a little context before, and I can also keep that conversation week by week, episode by episode going, because things change and there's an arc to the story. Even if to me it feels non-linear, that's just the way I go these days. Following my intuition, following the inclinations to build a fire in 90-degree weather, potting my houseplants before to ground. It worked. I loved it, and now I'm here in the state that I'm in. I speak about the visceral, biological, and as well as, like, of course, energetic shifts happening at the first quarter of spring. In one of these, in the next, like, bit of the episode. So, what's going to happen, what you're about to listen to, is two different videos recorded on two separate occasions. However, I really do feel like they weave in together, speaking on the moment we are presently moving through. As I'm recording this episode, I record the intro and I upload the episode on the same exact day, so you get very uh most recent dialogue and content. Um and I like it that way. It just keeps things like um oriented to present time as best as I can. And then if you're listening to this episode in the future from where I am now, then maybe there's something here for you too. I don't think any of this is linear. There's something crawling behind me. Don't know what it is. None of this is linear, right? But the way that we perceive it, the way that we receive information and content, it feels linear sometimes because um, seasons, the nature of reality is life, peak, wait, like a waning, and death. And that happens over and over and over again as long as we're alive, beyond the threshold of life itself in my belief system. And in the second part of this episode, you will get a little bit of a message for your human design aura type, also known as energy type. So, if you're not familiar with human design, it is a modality that combines 5 different wisdom systems um, in understanding the nature of reality, energetics of the divine human blueprint, um, as well as the out outer blueprint, energetic blueprint. It's hard to explain without sounding so stuffy with the verbiage. Like, I really don't like to come on here and try to just read like textbook type things to you. I just want to talk. Just want to talk. Be here in the moment. It's something like that. If you want to do more research on it, you can. Somebody that I learn a lot from just by receiving content, um, listening to podcast episodes, and doing all the research and digging on my own side of things. You can find Jenna Zoe at My Human Design. She translates human design in a very like palatable, easy, kind of digestible, understandable way. If you want to get really nerdy, you can, I think the website's Jovial or something like that, with the original translation of the system. Um, but if you don't know anything about it, just listen. And if you want to know specifically what kind of energy type you are, I use the My Human Design app to see to read. I offer light human design readings. I love to do them for friends, and I also love to do them as part of my business oracle work that I find myself crafting and moving into, which feels exciting. I have a lot to update you on, so I might just have an episode like that where I'm just like, hey, this is what I'm doing with my life. This is where I'm at, kind of thing. And if you're one of the few first people to support this show, I would love for you to let me know if you want to hear those kinds of episodes, just like updates, kind of like YouTube, when YouTubers make like update videos, but instead it's podcast form. And you can listen to what I'm up to while you're driving to your parents' house for the weekend or during a commute to your job. I'd love to be in your ears during those transitory moments. So, the second part of the episode is a little message for each of the human design energy types. And it's specifically what I'm feeling into for how to navigate this eclipse Mercury retrograde portal that we're moving through, specifically around the way that we navigate relationships, the way that we show up in other people's energy fields, the way that our energy meets other people's energy. And I say like other people's energy, but really it's not theirs or ours, but there is an energetic blueprint each of us has. And we can tell which is ours and we can tell which is not ours. And if you're watching this, I use quotation marks because I really do see energy as neutral, belonging to no one person. And also, the smoke is whew, all up in my esophagus. 1 second. You can listen to the fire while I drink. Okay, this intro's about 11 minutes long now, so with that being said, before I give you the messages that came through for me these past, I think it was just this week that I recorded these. I have another episode coming out on Saturday. Today's Thursday, so no episode tomorrow, but I'm giving a bonus episode on Saturday because I've been away from this space and I feel like just throwing in a bonus. I've been recording myself talk to the camera lately and it feels good to do that and to like release them in a more like curated, not so Instagrammable content kind of way. I really just like speaking on what's coming through and talking about it. It's my favorite way right now. Before I drop you into the messages, I'd like to also give you an update on what's going on with my mystery school that I announced in a previous episode. So right now, I am working with a designer, more of like a tech magician, if you will. I won't talk too much about it to build my website. Let me back up a little bit. I won't talk too much about it, but I am going to be asking for support for you to help me water the roots of this dream very soon. I created a Kickstarter, just working on the last few refinements on that. If you would like to support in creating this space and community and helping me craft this legacy work, really? I forget sometimes, like, how it may shift future generations from my bloodline. Wow, crazy. Just sitting with that for a second. It feels scary to think that I have the ability to affect so much of our future, at least the future around me. Not in a like, I am the one to change the future kind of way, and also not the like, who am I to change the future kind of way, because both of those sentiments are ego, just different sides of the coin of ego. And it's also helpful to kind of to feel proud that I can have such a profound shift in my bloodline. I am grateful for all of the privileges that have been afforded to me to be able to work on such a project, to answer this calling. And I'm grateful for the people who stick around to see all of my shifts and changes as I move through it and figure it out in the ways that I know how to. Let's see what else wants to come through. I am going to be having a lot of events coming up And in the early summer and late spring, I will announce the Staluna launch party date online and offline. So if you're local listening to this, to Richmond, Virginia, um, and you wanna go to that, you can email me or find me on the internet and let me know that you'd like to come to that. I don't wanna announce the date yet. I won't announce the date yet, but I will announce it soon, and I just wanna let everybody know who listens to this podcast what's going on with me. It's really hard to show up on other social platforms and try to keep everybody updated on all the things all the time, and I'm not even a person who calls people a lot to, like, catch up. I'm a very, like, low maintenance friend and person to have a relationship with. Like, I'll still be there for you even if we don't talk forever, because I get it. No, I don't take it personally. I really love my space, and now we're getting too far away from what the episode's about. I love talking. I love giving these long intros. But now I feel like it's time to drop you into the messages around springtime, the first quarter of spring, how our bodies, our minds, our energy is changing with the season. Very apparently during this time, if you do follow the astrology, you'll know that there are a slew of cosmic events happening right now, and it is amazing to be alive at this time. And I don't say that lightly. I really do believe and feel that we are going through profound shifts in humanity, and I'm excited. I'm excited. It might feel uncomfy, but I am excited, and it makes me feel hopeful for the earth that my daughter will inherit and get to play on. And I hope you can take what resonates and leave what doesn't about the human design messages. If you don't know anything of what I'm talking about, just listen and absorb what resonates again, what feels good to listen to, and investigate, maybe go further into if you'd like. Um, that's my like favorite way to understand something. It's like probe and dig and investigate. Like, what is that? Why don't I understand that? How can I understand this? And how do I feel about it? And then like choosing, what do I want to believe about this? What feels good to believe about whatever it is that I'm being introduced to or that's like showing up in my world around me. This fire is ashy and burning out, which kind of tells me that it's about time. So now that I've talked for 18 minutes now, thank you so much for being here. I will gift another episode, a gift of a bonus episode on Saturday for Earth Day. And so stay tuned for that. Turn your notifications on. If you want to watch this on YouTube, you can find the link and all the information on how to connect with me beyond this audio land in the information wherever that lives. All right. Thank you so much. Take good care. There's ash flying everywhere. Bye. Love ya. We are in the first quarter of spring, and I have been noticing my practices changing so much. My clairaudience is evolving in a different way. It's a lot more quieter, which feels a little nerve-wracking because I'm so used to like hearing everything. However, it wasn't a thing that felt good in my body. It was like overwhelming, overstimulating, and kind of chaotic, to be honest. And now I've been practicing more of like being in my body, listening to my body. When I wake up in the morning, I feel my organs like turn on. And I'm like, ooh. And then I like stretch as I'm like getting up. And that feels really good. That feels like a practice for me at this point. I've been doing it for like a week unintentionally. I didn't set out to be like, okay, now I'm gonna wake up and move my organs around every morning. It was just kind of like, ooh, this feels good. And I kept doing it in the morning, and now it still feels good. And I turn on the camera because I think it's important to speak on how when the seasons come and change, our bodies change, our practices change. Everything about us biologically, physically, spiritually, mentally is changing. And I think we need to be okay with things changing. Eclipse season, Mercury retrograde time is here. And I'm not gonna lie, the past week, I've been like, oh my God, like, what's gonna happen? I'm not ready. I don't wanna do it. Avoidant, scared, in fear. And today, I'm like, hell yeah, bring it on. I'm ready for some change. Because that's just what happens. And I have been ready for change for a while now. So now eclipse season is here. I'm just like, enjoying my life. I play music while I cook what I want to eat. I weed the garden when I come back from dropping off Cora from school. And I feel good when I go to sit down to work and write and do things that are productive. That are productive. But it feels different. It looks different. I'm acting different. And I'm excited for the change to come. And I hope you are too. Wherever you are, whenever you're listening to this. I'll probably put this on my podcast episode. I don't know what I'll do for the episode. All right, now I need to have these thoughts to myself. Thank you for listening. I make these videos just like seemingly randomly, non-linear strings of words and content. I don't like the word content. I just finished some fish tacos. I'm here at the park at sunset, almost sunset. I think it's a little early. I just had a meeting with my good friend Shannon of Shannon Studios. She is a natural natural material dye artist. And she and I are creating something really fun with indigo at one of my favorite places to go for the summer solstice. And I got on here to say something specific, but I guess what's coming through right now is how we relate to each other, how we spend time together, how simple it can be to be present with each other. It doesn't always have to be a big show, a big event. It doesn't even have to be like a really nice dinner. It could just be snacks at a park. And that could be so deep and transformative and beautiful all at the same time. I think we're going into a time when we're just gonna have to like let things roll off of us, maybe. Especially if you're a reflector, let things roll off of you. And if you are a projector, letting things process through you and sharing your wisdom or integrating that wisdom however you know to do it best. If you're a generator, the things that could happen during this eclipse Mercury retrograde portal is to remember that you create your own joy, your own satisfaction in your life. And if that means saying no, say no. I guess we're here to talk about all the energy types or the aura types in human design. Who's next? Manifester. Manifesting generator. If you're a manifesting generator, you might have to feel a little angry. Same with manifestors. You might have to feel a little angry and discern whose anger that is. You know? Is it yours, really? Or is it ancestral? Is it a parent? Is it a partner? You know? Is it a part of society? What about manifesting generators? Manifesting generators, just do it. Even if it doesn't make any sense, and you probably hear this message all the time, manifesting generator. But it's really true. Like during eclipse, Mercury retrograde portal season time, just have fun. You know, I pulled the Fool card for not for but like for the general eclipse Mercury retrograde season energy. And one of my guides, I have a guide who's like really sassy, and they're like there's about to be a bunch of foolishness happening during this time, and that feels like manifesting generator energy to me, like, you know, the foolishness. And if you can do that in a way that's like grounded in wisdom versus outdated ways of relating to the world around you, to people, places, to yourself, I think it could be a really fun and maybe a little bit of a gamified way of moving through this time. That's what I have. That's what I want to say. I hope it was helpful. I don't know where this video is gonna live. We'll see.